Hey everybody, it's Chance here yet again with another episode of Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. Last time what happened is I'm just gonna get right into it actually because I don't have all the names in my brain and I feel bad about not calling them their names. Um, Last time we continued with Yako where we were in the process of leaving the school. However, in the process of leaving the school, we found the homeroom teacher of our class, I believe, talking with the juvenile delinquent girl that they talked about here in Tetsuo's route. I can actually go to persons of interest. So, yeah, so with Yako, we found Kohei Jonouchi and Hitomi Okuda talking with each other in one of the classrooms. Don't know what they're doing there at 1 a.m. in the morning, but okay. Um, Yako did get an urge to kill. Um, it is unclear whether the implication. Oh, daytime, nighttime. Oh, that's cute. I just noticed that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Is this actually spanning more than one day? I'm not sure. Anyway, continuing. And so upon leaving, um, we didn't curse anyone because it was given an implication that this guy has done stuff before, but with no real details. Of course, my gut feeling is that he's a sex pest, but I don't know if that's the case. Um, Especially with some later information we learn. But we don't curse and then we leave. And then Mio, our friend here, is like, hey, you have to leave. Run if I'm not out in 10 minutes. Go home. And we're like, okay. So we go ahead and do that. We go outside. Um, and we get found out by Makoto Ashimiya here, who is the janitor. We tell him that Mio's inside, and we were there to get something. Um, he goes inside, and he disappears, and Mio disappears. Well, not disappears, but he disappears. And it's been 20 to 30 minutes, and Yako's like, I'm gonna go inside, which maybe isn't smart, but I digress. We go in, and Mio is super duper dead. And then we died too. And then our good best friend here, the storyteller, was just like, hey, just so you know, you gotta learn some about what people are untrustworthy. And like, you can always go back there after, luring said information somewhere else. That's perfectly acceptable. And I'm just like, okay, that means I'm not ready to continue there. So then we went to Harui's first chapter. She starts right ahead with getting her cursed object, and we learn about the happenstance of the kidnapping of her son a year back that then led to his death. Um, our detective friend Richter um, is a private investigator that Harui has hired to hopefully find her son Shuichi. Well, not find her son, figure out who did it because he is dead. Um, and he has gotten the lead because he is trying to brack why no one suspicious would have come up on the list at all. And it turns out that he's narrowed it down and managed to get it to either police officers, of which they stand out. People would bring them up regardless of if they were or not a part of the police force, and that would have been a site of inquiry. Or it could have been another woman or child. His investigation led him to talk to Koyohei Jonochi, who says that he saw Hitomi lead the boy away, and that she's going to kill him, which really leads into contrast what was Yako thinking. Because maybe it is true, but it seems that whatever is going on between these two is not a gross teacher preying on a student, but something else? Who can say? We don't really know anything about Hitomi. I have a feeling Hitomi might have one of the curses, but I'm not sure. It's unclear. But Harui is also like, the Rite of Resurrection, huh? I can bring my son back to life. And Richter is like, I'm not going to help you do that. I mean, like, if we get their soul box, or if we get their cursed object, then that's fine. But you are not killing. You are not using yours. And she's just like, okay. But just in like an acknowledgement of okay, not in a, okay, I'm gonna do what you say. Because I don't really think she hired this man. You know? But, yeah. So we're gonna get right back into it with Harui. He is out looking for the other curse bearers. And he told us to stay home. But I don't think she's gonna stay inside, especially judging from this image. I keep forgetting that they also have the summary of previous events here. Like, I could literally read this. But, you know, I don't know how to read, so it's fine. Despite having obtained the Curse of the Haunting Clappers, Harui Shigima is determined to use the Rite of Resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her private investigator, Richter, to find the other curse bearers. Start! Let's go. Harui Shigima, 1 a.m. Shigima Mansion Reception Room. It's almost been an hour since Richter left. He'd promised he'd call if anything happened. But he hasn't. So all I can do is wait. And wait. Oh yeah, we also learned that there is a collectible system where if we look around we can get all these birds. Very exciting. Should I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. The flowers put me at ease. Just a little. That old hanging scroll. I've seen it too often to feel anything from it now. Come to think of it, I never offered him any tea. Not that I ever learned how to make it. Magazine. Newspaper, not a magazine. What's this? A newspaper? He must have fallen off the chair. Let's read it. You know what? What do we lose? It's a newspaper. I only leave them in here for guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years. In fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. Let's see. Let's look at the society articles. Looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted. The river was covered in scum, all from the sewage and the industrial waste, and it stinks so badly it made my eyes water. Eventually, people started getting sick, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Unfortunately, it has gotten better since then, although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. It's a fax machine. I rarely find use for it. I don't know anyone else owns one. Okay, that's the same as before. I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. There's nothing on at this hour. No point in turning it on. The ticking seems so loud. It just goes to show how quiet it is. Anything fun? Oh. My husband used to complain that it was too dark, but I rather like the gloom. Let's read the other articles. Let's try economy. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom is past its peak, we're moving toward the era of large corporations. It's about 220 to 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar is down from its height and people are saying it could fall further. There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved the past few years. It's common to own a car and television now, and supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems that only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. But now we have these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music was all the rage, but now it's all about city pop and idols. It's hard to find anything to care about that. It's hard to care about that sort of thing anymore. I don't really watch much television. It feels as though all the information in the world gets passed to that little black box. But father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I'm just glad about that. Less fuss. Okay, so she agreed with that choice. Okay. Oh, there's more. There's more articles of each one. Okay. If there's one thing Honjo never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't anyone I knew. I don't read the news anymore. Not since last year. It brings back memories. Suicide at local high school. Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think, or maybe something about exam pressure. But, no, this can't be right. Her name? Michiko Shiraishi from Komagata High School. It can't be. What do you mean it can't be? Michi Shiraishi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide last week. But that means Mr. Joruchi was terrified of someone who already died? Is that what he meant by a curse? Wait, did he? Is that who he said? I thought he was talking about Hitomi. Ah! It must be him. Let's pick it up. Answer. Hello, Shigema residence. Two a.m. Komagata Bridge. Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm curious of what he has to say. You go first. Please, go ahead. Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the Seven Mysteries looking for curse bearers, and I think I found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into in Kinshibori Park. He wasn't a curse bearer, but I also don't know if things change. I don't know. We'll see. I'm also not sure of how the routes are kind of split. So, not really sure. And he was out of there the second he figured out I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer. Then there was this middle-aged guy I saw on South Warigesu Street. There's no question about that one. He had one of the curse stones in his hands. He had a nervous air about him, too. It was clear he was up to some shady business. Gathering soul dregs, I'd bet. He'd make a good target. Next time as a pair, a young man and woman I saw about Rogoku Bridge. First, this time the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. It looks like they lurk around there often, looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair, gathering soul grigs in a route might be a decent idea if you could make it work. But with things being how they are, it's gotta be hard to find folks one can trust. They got brass, though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. The last two is detectives I've been sniffing around. The police are involved? Not necessarily. A body turned up in the local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got tied to one of the 7 mysteries. It might be that the curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's gotta be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say that when you're in business, there are some faces you get to know. He and anyway, your friends. Aria. Anyway, that's everyone who caught my eye. You found all of them in so little time. I really did hire the best. That's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai, P.I. No, wait, maybe make that Richter Kai, investigator extraordinaire. My, an investigator extraordinaire. Is that why you dress like that without drawing attention to yourself? You bet. You know what? Yeah. If you can be like, I'm really good at sneaking, so I can just wear whatever I want, he's a king for that. You bet. An investigator extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising. Am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than I thought. Plus, there are still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, it's our chance will come. There's something I need to tell you. What's up? Well, that girl, Michio Shiraishi, the one that Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, that's her. Well, okay. So I think I gave my description, and I think I did mess up. Okay. So that still actually puts into question what these two were doing for some reason, but it was her who he was afraid of. But why? Question mark? She's dead. She's what? A student who committed suicide last week, that was her. I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name, though. Talk about bad luck. Finally get a lead, only to find out it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Jonouchi was so shaken up. He said she was going to curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? It seems like we're back where we started. Not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. At the very least, I put money on him having something to do with Miss Shiraishi's death. And that's why he's so scared of being cursed by her. I see. And also, something's telling me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. In any case, I think I got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? I mean, I don't, but I think I'd care to take a guess. I think that would be fun. I can't say for certain, but... Let's say... That's very funny. Oh, wait. Blackmail, right? What if Michiko Shiraishi silenced Mr. Jonouchi with blackmail? What do you think? Interesting. That's what he claimed was going on, but I wonder about that. That might be a bit far-fetched. I see, I'm sorry if I disappointed you. Not really cut out to play detective. Well, no point in dwelling on calculation. The truth will out in time. Aw, man. I failed that quiz. You heard the sad sound. Ah, tragic. This is my only chance to bring back my son. I can't afford it to flitter away. I'm just going to take a look at the surroundings. We're on Komogata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. Okay, open updates page. One of the bridges spanning the Sumida River, completed in 1927 as a part of a reconstruction effort following the Great Kanto earthquake, it is notable for its distinctive blue arches and the cutting edge for the time techniques used in its construction. There are many bridges stretching out across the Sumida River, each boasting a unique structural form and design. Yeah, you know what? Let's do a little search around. What if we find a bird? Sumida River. Yeah, no, these backgrounds are really pretty. The Sumida River. That water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it looks almost peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I can tell you is that I can hardly stand the sight of it. Right. Should have guessed. This is where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been, how cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then, and I've prayed to the river to give him back. To give back my son. Day after day after day. You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. The act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chuo saw the Sumida River the same way. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife, the same place that would later become Honjo. All their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then, Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Meireki, and just like that, Honjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, and the people surrounding it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways. Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, and stop it leaking through our side of the Great Divide. Eventually, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one too. So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honju is a place where the real world meets the afterlife? Exactly. That's why the Rite of Resurrection is here rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the Seven Mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot where we're standing now, right over the water, the border between life and death. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking aloud, ma'am. Well, it's a nice thought. Interesting. This is a haunted town, I see. A Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of eastern Tokyo and empties into the Tokyo Bay. During the Edo period, Sumida's riverbanks played a key role in the transportation of lumber used in construction. In addition to its logistical importance, it was also a place for the common folk to gather and enjoy activities, such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there exist many woodblock prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period, but the situation has improved since. Many unique bridges span the Sumida River, including the Ryogoku and Azubashi bridges, which attract a large amount of visitors at sightseeing spots. Massive fireworks displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in its development and serving as an inspiring backdrop for its countless works of art and literature. Oh, that's right. There's one memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? Go ahead. It must have been about 20 years now, when I was still a stool girl. Back then, the Sumida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank. You could look out of the dark. You could look over the water and just see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. And one day, among all the filth and the garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. Oh, she was going to high school during that period of time 20 years ago. But it was almost a miracle when you stop to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And although everything in but the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have had an identifiable scar, and that they could tell it had been a murder from the blade marks on the bone. Wait, you're talking about the Nejima murders? So you have heard of it. I'm impressed. I assumed you were but an elementary schooler at the time? I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. Hmm. Fumichika Nejima. Self-employed, the man who made headlines over 2 decades as the perpetrators of the brutal killings known as the Ejima murders. To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. Sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny. Everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around there myself. That's right, which is why the riverbed is the last place anyone would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, if you chopped up a body into tiny pieces and threw it in the river, it would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. Are you saying what I think you're saying? They arrested him shortly after Fumichika Nejima, the man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. Let's see. Oh, they arrested him short after Fumichika Nejima. Okay, I was just like, they arrested him after that? No, those are 2 sentences. He was so methodical about it. It couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end, but the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? The same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So really, this river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's a reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. Ugh. The police already actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only thing my father said that was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me. Huh. I guess it just wasn't the killer's day. Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. Hmm. The Sumida River. I have nothing but awful memories of it. Yeah, 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 you really don't. Oh, wow. Richter Kai. He's gazing down at the water. Okay. Is something wrong? Not really. It just struck me. It's been 20 years since the Nejima murders. So it has. Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing. Hmm? Life in prison doesn't always mean life. There's precedent for first-time offenders that have been allowed on parole. There's a precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. If they've been found to show remorse and the desire to reform themselves, of course. That's right. I'm impressed you know so much. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society. I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation. Oh, really? They keep an eye on them, of course, make them report in for their regular checkups, but to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from anyone but their employers. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities so they won't be recognized in the workplace. My, the way you put it, it's like you're saying Fumachika Nejima could be out on parole right now. Back in society under a new name, with nobody the wiser. It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if that was Mejima, but our discussion just now did bring it to mind. I see. How unsettling. Now that you mention it, I just remembered something too. What was it? I was passing Komagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. A janitor, I think. And I could have sworn he reminded me of Fume Chika Nejima. I mean, they could have given like plastic surgery, but like the eyes, maybe. But sort of not. Like the lids are bigger here. I mean, if they gave him plastic surgery. Oh, he looked a little different after 20 years. Majorly different. I genuinely don't think they're the same person unless he's had plastic surgery done. Much thinner than I remembered, too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps it was him after all. Okay, they're making me want to look again. Alright. Okay. It is hard to know due to the extreme weight loss, if that is the case. Which, if 20 years and time in prison, I'm just trying to see if the noses look similar. It's hard to know what's art style and what's, but... No, I feel like everyone has different noses. I feel like it's pretty... I mean, like, I guess their eyes are somewhat similar, but these seem more alert than this one. I don't know. They don't seem similar to me. I don't know. They're clearly trying to put some idea of doubt in my brain, but like also, I don't think they. I don't know. Who can say? It's been 20 years, I guess. You can look majorly different. Maybe again, he's had plastic surgery. Who can say? The big question is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the seven mysteries. It's unlikely that the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. All right. Excuse me. Where did she come from? It's like she appeared out of nowhere. I didn't mean to startle you. I'm terribly sorry if I've gotten the wrong people, but would you happen to be curse bearers? Curse bearers? What's that then? It means someone who's gathering souls for the Rite of Resurrection. You have heard of the Rite of Resurrection, haven't you? Everyone's talking about it. Color me intrigued. Care to tell me more, miss? What's your name again? Oh, silly me. I'm Ayame Tono. University student. I like her look. I like the sweater. She's very cute. I guess she says her name's Ayame. I guess she's around 20. She must be brave, walking around alone like this late. Or maybe there's more to it. There's more to the Rite of Resurrection than meets the eye, you see. So the best way to collect soul dregs is to kill other curse bearers. And that's about the size of it. I hope it wasn't too much to follow. No, I think I got the gist. Funny old world we live in, huh? Just to be safe. So, are you saying you're one of these curse bearers? Well, not quite. It's complicated. I'm not, but Yutaru is. Yutaru? Is that your boyfriend? Oh, heavens no. Just a friend. His full name is Yutaru Namagaki. I suppose you could say partners in crime. Funny way of putting it. Nah. So where is this Yutaru now? Well, about that. He's not actually a curse bearer anymore. He's more of a former curse bearer. Okay, so that happens during this period of time. The question is then, how does he get it back? Does she get it back? Do we get it back? Question mark? Former, how so? I don't really know the details myself, but apparently he's lost his curse stone. Typical, right? He makes such a show of being a top student only to flunk when it counts. So now I'm up here looking for curse bearers myself, if you want something done right. Think. Ah, that must be it. She must be half the couple Richter mentioned, but she isn't a curse bearer herself, and her friend has lost his curse stone. Neither of them will be of any use to me. He lost it? How did he do that? I wasn't with him at the time, so I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is that he came back saying he didn't have it anymore. Although, well, it's strange that you'd probe into that of all things. I'm just the curious sort, that's all. Sorry if it's a touchy subject. Oh, I don't mind. I don't particularly care about keeping it a secret. So, anyway, mind if I ask why you thought I was a curse bearer? Oh, that, I'm terribly sorry. I was so rude. The two of you out late at night, and I suppose I just made assumptions. Gotcha. Sorry if we gave you the wrong idea. Out of interest, what would be your plan if we did turn out to be curse bearers? Great question, and the answer is, I was going to ask you very nicely for your curse stones. And just like that, you thought we would have given them to you? Well, maybe not, but you know what they say, you never know until you ask. You must really love your boyfriend if you're willing to try that something that risky. Oh, goodness, no, we're just friends. My life doesn't revolve around him, you know? Yutaro can be a little irrational sometimes, so I have to keep a level head on my shoulders. Anyway, you aren't curse bearers, so I'm just bothering you, aren't I? Please ignore me! So what are you trying to do with this Rite of Resurrection? Well, Yutaro has his own plan all laid out. I don't know if I can get behind it, though. It seems kinda... how do I put it? Self-centered? I mean, if you get a chance to resurrect the dead, and it would be a waste not to use it on someone that really matters, right? So I was planning to steal his curse stone at the last second to use it for myself. Well, until he lost it anyway. Oh, but don't tell Yutaro I was gonna do that, okay? I don't think he'd be happy to hear it. Of course, keeping secrets is my business. My, aren't you dashing? Sounds like you really have your heart set on this, right? What were you hoping to use it on? Do you promise you won't laugh? Cross my heart. Well, let me tell you my master plan. Prepare to be amazed. I'm an art student, you see. Woodblock prints are my specialty. Ukiyo-e in particular. Ukiyo-e, you must be a cultured lady. Really? Do you think so? Everyone says it's a strange interest for a girl to have. You know, people often think ukiyo-e as some inaccessible high-class art form when that's totally untrue. Back in the Edo period, it was the art for the masses, amusement for the common people. So when you think about it, we did exactly the same thrills from every brushstroke they did back then. Isn't that fascinating? Huh, yeah, I guess. And as far as I'm concerned, the most undisputed king is the one and only Hokusai. Have you heard of him? Sure I have, he's famous. Didn't he live somewhere around here back in the Edo period? That's right, you look as knowledgeable as you look. His 36 views of Mount Fuji are so iconic that they're the only works of his that most people know. But Hokusai was so much more than just mountains and waves. That's only the teeny tiny tip of a veritable iceberg of work. I gotta admit, I only really know him from those landscapes myself. Oh, don't worry about that, anyone can learn. When Hokusai died at the age of 90, he left behind 30,000 drawings. That's multiple drawings a day for 80 years. Amazing, right? So he kept drawing right up until his old age, huh? Impressive. But even in his final years, he was never satisfied with his own work. And his dying words were, "Should heaven afford me but 5 more years, I shall finally become a true artist." Even in his deathbed, he still thought he had more to learn. He was already the greatest painter and artist of his era. Who knows what he could have done with more time? Well, that's what I want to find out. Hold on. Are you saying... Besides, he always said he wanted to move out at 100 houses, but he only made it to 93. Isn't that just tragic? Oh no. Nuh-uh. No way this is going where this is where I'm thinking. Imagine the masterpieces he could create with modern techniques. I feel dizzy just thinking about it. You've got to be kidding me. If I understand correctly, you want to use the Rite of Resurrection to... That's right, I want to bring Hokusai back to life. Well, that's certainly a novel idea. That's what she'd use it on? What a waste. A master ukiyo-e artist, 1760 to 1849. Hokusai was active during the late Edo period, considered to be the golden age of ukiyo-e in Japan. Born in Honjo, Hokusai spent most of his life in the area now known as Sumida City. Among his most famous works are the 36 Views of Mount Fuji and the Hokusai manga. Hokusai was a prolific artist from a young age and has left behind a variety of works, producing an estimated 30,000 pieces during his lifetime. Though the general popularity declined during the Meiji period, Hokusai remained a core figure at the center of the Japonisme movement, providing inspiration for countless artists around the globe. Despite his fame, Hokusai himself was said to be rather indifferent to money or decorum, and lived a life that could quite be appropriately resembled that of a whimsical and otherworldly scenes often predicted. Though he went by many great names, his later years he took the title of Gakyo Rowan Manji, or the Old Mad Painter. Okusai lived to be 90 years old, and he never lost his passion for art. Oh gosh, is it the time? I should be going. I need to get my hands on a curse bearer before daylight. Sorry for flagging you down out of the blue like that. Best of luck! Ayame Tono, sex female, occupation university student. Curse echo, none. Ayame is a young woman working with Yutaro Namagaki. Her yam for Katsushika Hokusai's Ukeo is so great that she wishes to resurrect him with the Rite of Resurrection. Yame is a clever but calculating university student who only has time for her own interests. She is making the best of the recent boom in popularity of female university students, incited by their appearance across the TV commercials and radio programs. Yame is content to ride this trend so long as it allows her to get on hand on whatever she needs and wants in life. Recently, Ayame has figured it out that older men will fall for her if she acts a little bit stupid. She was approached by Yutaro Namagaki in town, and although she was not attracted to him, agreed to date him because his family seemed rich. However, she does not think much of him as a human being and is beginning to grow bored of their relationship. Oh my god. So they are dating. But, oh, she's maybe the funniest person on the planet. Girl, you know what? Good for women. Well, there goes trouble. If we're gonna going after curse stones, we should keep an eye on her, too, if we can. Why do you say that? Before she left, she wished us best of luck. She's got at least an inkling we're curse bearers. My, there's a good chance we'll clash sooner or later. We're after the same thing, after all. Hey, if you head on back to the mansion, ma'am, I think I'll tail her for a while. Interesting. Alright. Now, let's continue at this. Okay, so timeline-wise... So when this was happening with these guys. But we know she gets out. So obviously the version where she dies is not the one that co-aligns with... This one, I think? No, this one. I think? Somewhere in this time frame. Yeah, that one high school scene was just so quick that I just don't even fully recognize what occurred. So this might actually take place over more than one day. Unlike I thought. So I'll update that. Alright. Let's go. It's 3 a.m. Shigema Mansion. Back here again. I left Richter to continue looking for the other curse bearers, and came home alone. The old Shigema Mansion. We rebuilt it here after the Great Kanto earthquake. It always stayed the same after all these years. Even the war didn't touch it. I never liked it growing up. I always wanted to live somewhere more modern. Once a warrior clan with a mansion in Honjo, now a dynasty of police officials, the Shigema family is one of considerable repute. The family estate was originally located some distance from the city, but the Great Kanto earthquakes of 1923 forced them to rebuild in a new location. The Shigema mansion was at one time a bustling place where members of the social elite mingled. 1 year ago, however, the head of the house was struck with a sudden melancholy, and ever since their mansion has stood still as the grave. Oh, I already did this. Get me out of here. There we go. I can hear the wind rustling in the trees. Mockingbird 5 discovered. This is very funny. Hell yeah. Sorry. The ostracizer. That's so that's stupid. Think. Will this really be enough to gather the soul dregs I need? What if nobody uses any more curses? I'll use my chance to bring him back. I don't think there's anywhere else I can go. Is that it? I guess so? Let's restart. Okay. Okay, so even if you say no, Mia will have you do so. Yako's design is really good. I love her big eyebrows. Okay, so that part is not the... Hello. Let's try this one. I'm not acting out. What about you? Should you be smoking on school grounds? Well, it ain't lit, so it's alright. It's, you know, an accessory. Today, don't go changing the subject. There's just no letting down my guard with you. So, why are you here so late? Well, the truth is I forgot something in my classroom. Again, you sure are a piece of work. Hmm? But you don't got nothing with you. Oh. Wait, you do? What's that in your hand? Huh? Well, this is what I forgot. I, got it from my grandpa. It's really important to me. Girls these days sure have weird tastes. Well, okay, better head straight home if you're done. I won't tell on you. No, wait, I can't let you walk home this late. Alright, just wait a little. I'll hurry up and lock things up. But... Go home alone without checking on Mia. Oh, right. Mr. Toneuchi was actually looking for you inside the main building. What was that? He's here right now? What's he thinking? I don't know. He was just in Class 3B on the second floor just a bit ago. Well, I suppose that means I can't be locking up yet. Second floor, you said? I'll go take a peek. I'll go take a peek. Be back in a jiff. Um, my house is really close by. I'll be fine on my own, really. That's so. Ah, the snack shop, right? Suppose you'll be fine then. Be careful now, you hear? Stay on the big, lit streets. If something happens, shout fire. Okay, you worry too much. Well, we wouldn't want to be losing any more students. Though I imagine you'd know that better than anyone. Yes, you're right. Hmm. Hmm. Mio's late. I've been waiting for 20 or 30 minutes, but there's no sign of her. Huh? There's someone coming down the road. That's... Oh no, a teacher. It's Mr. Araishi. He looks on edge. I wonder what he's doing. Wait, he's the one who discovered the Rite of Resurrection. It wouldn't be strange for him to be involved with curses. Wonder if he has a curse stone. What should I do? It, but it's way past the 10 minutes Mio said she'd be here by. I managed to escape. I can't let that go to waste. I need to get out of here before anyone sees me. Okay, interesting. Okay. Ah, I'm home. Thank goodness. I don't think the walk has ever felt so long. Nobody will be able to use their curse inside once it's light outside. I need to go look for Mio as soon as it's morning. But for now, I need some rest. Okay. After persuading Araishi, the curse bearer of the ever-burning lantern, to give up his stone, Tatsumi and Ario have obtained 3 curse stones in total. They continue their investigation of the town in search of the remaining curse bearers. Road. Well, with this, we'll have visited every place connected to the 7 mysteries. This is the last spot, huh? And we got nothing to show for it. Even though every last location looked suspect from top to bottom. Maybe we came at the wrong time. There might not have been any curse bearers around. Sounds like we'll need to do another round before morning comes then. Or maybe someone's been observing our movements. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Oh my god. What? No way. Just a thought. Either way, we should check out the last place. uh, the framing of just maybe someone else is looking me. I don't know what you're talking about. Kinshibori Park. That's where Shogo would be, right? And he is dead before 4 a.m. Whoa, 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 what the hell is this? Is he dead? Damn it, we were too late. Was this a curse too? Hey, hang on, I'm gonna call this in. I'll leave it to you. I'm gonna take a look around. Just slumped. Boss, bad news. What is it? Another mysterious death was reported in the area just now. A medical unit and forensics team are on their way, but it'll be a while before they arrive. That's some bad news. They got someone else. You think this is the work of a curse bearer? With suspicious deaths popping up one after another, we'll have to assume it is. Shit, I guess we'll be stuck waiting around for a little while. Huh? Boss, that phone is ringing. Huh? There's something stuck to the side of the phone? Hell yeah! That's what it's about. What's this one called? Pelican Knot. Okay. I checked the surroundings earlier, but there were no signs of a curse bearer or any curse echoes around. The ringing of the phone is the only sound cutting through the quiet park. Young man in his 20s, killed in cold blood. He's definitely dead, but I can't quite discern from the cause from what I've seen. There's no obvious external wounds, but what's that leaking from his mouth? Salt water? He seems distracted by the phone. I should answer it. Well, we better go check it out. I found a bird on the side of it. You're right, but be careful. It could be a curse. Hey, I said we. You expect me to go alone? You're the one who's tough against this stuff. Don't worry, boss. You can do it. Go on now. Damn it. They're so funny. Hello? Kinshibori Park phone booth? Evening, Detective Tatsumi. How are things looking out there? Who is this? I finally got him! The real deal! Detective Tetsuo Tatsumi himself. Wait. That's Chief Inspector Tatsumi now, isn't it? You've come a long way since we last met. I asked you to identify yourself. Man, have you forgotten already after all the time we spent together? At a time that was. As I recall, I gave you quite the runaround. Wait, is this Fumichika Najima? What? Did you say Fukuchika Najima? Like the one from the Najima murders? Ding ding ding! You got it. I had a feeling the great Chief Tatsumi would remember me. I spent 20 young years in a cell thanks to you. That shit was not easy. You should be thanking me. You should be giving you plenty of time to think and atone for your sins. Ah, well that I did. I've repented. My conscience is as clean as a whistle. Bullshit. 20 years in prison doesn't even begin to make up for the shit you did. Don't know about that. After all, the justice system was gracious enough to grant me a parole. What? If this is the real Fumichika Najima, he must have still have a grudge against me for arresting him, despite the fact that he admitted to murder. So this is payback, damn it. What is your goal? Now, you gotta understand. I've repented, seen the light. I've been a good boy since I was granted parole. I even got myself a job. I've been real serious about walking the right path. Well, that's very nice. Keep it up. But it was no good. When the opportunity arose, it was impossible to hold myself back. I knew I had to give you a little token of thanks or I'd never be able to have a fresh start. Do you get what I'm saying? No thanks. I don't need anything. No need to do that all for me. Just try to live a quiet life. It's no hassle. No hassle at all. It would be all too easy to just kill you, to tear you apart. But that wouldn't be very satisfying. Certainly not after 20 fucking years of waiting. That's a long time to nurture a grudge. You fucking bet it is. I let it gnaw at me, grow inside me. I thought of nothing else. All that time I played a model prisoner, endured the harassment those asshole guards threw at me. And I did it all for you, Tatsumi, so please just expect my deepest and most sincere feelings. Sorry, but I'm afraid I don't feel the same way about you. Shut the fuck up. That attitude of yours is why I'm saving you for last. What are you planning? Whatever it is, bring it on. I'm not running away. I just told you I'm not coming for you yet. Pay attention when people talk, shithead. You see, this time I want to see you on your knees, begging in despair and begging for mercy. Oh no, I'm so sorry, dear Najima. Please forgive me. I won't do it again. Shut the fuck up. This is exactly why I've hated you so fucking much. It was worth a shot. Do you really think that would save me, asshole? You must be crazy. Well, then we're both crazies. We've got so much in common, we should be friends. Enjoy cracking your jokes with me while you still can. I'm gonna kill everyone you care about, one by one, until there's no one left. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm a lone wolf. I don't have anyone like that in my life. Boss, what about me? Oh, wait. Are you just trying to protect me? There's not a single person you care about? I wonder what your sweet daughter would think if she were to hear that. Don't you fucking dare, I'm warning you. Ooh, very nice. This is more like it. She's living all on her own now, isn't she? Attending university and all. Such a good girl. Oh my. Don't tell me that she just happens to live in Honjo? What? She does? No, forget it. This isn't funny, asshole. I'm going to make you pay. Ah, I love it. Keep going. I want to hear you lose your mind. It's music to my ears. Fuck you. Just curious. Just curious. I hear you, little man. My cat, he's just a little man. I don't think so. Might be unrelated. I look forward to chopping up your precious daughter. It'll just be like old times. I won't let that happen. How do you know where I am? This is my favorite part. The sound of confusion in your voice, it's to die for. This is delicious. I can't get enough. I'm not telling you shit. Have fun racking your tiny little brain for it. I guess I could give you a little hint.
Go on.
Well, you see, you have the one-sided read. Oh, I have the one-sided read. Tatsumi, you have the Evergreen Beach, do you know?
Nejima, you're the curse bearer? You're using the power of the curse?
Indeed, and what a peculiar curse it is. But that's where my hint ends.
God damn it. The curse echo couldn't have fallen into worse hands.
And one more thing we should discuss. In fact, it's the most important thing.
Thought you were finally gonna shut up. I'm sick of you, so I'll pass.
Oh, but you don't want to miss this. It's the main course. I could just go after your daughter, but something tells me you'd get bored.
No, I'm good. You got me real fired up. You're in my head. Well done.
But this is my gift. This is a gift tailor-made for you. I'm going to kill all the people you swore to protect. Every last person living here.
You couldn't.
Oh, but with this curse of mine, I can. I'll give you until dusk. By then, I could probably get a couple hundred people or so. And it'll be all your fault. Oh, it must be so hard to know that they'll all die because of you. So tragic. You must be tearing you apart.
Don't fuck with me. There's no way an amateur like you could pull off a curse that strong.
Unfortunately for you, I absolutely can. My curse stone is a particularly strong one, which means I can have my fun without needing to hold back one bit. It's almost like the Feast of Shadows was cast just for me.
You're surprisingly well informed about this. Who was it that tipped you off?
Who knows?
And how about I kill you myself first and ruin all your fun? How about that, asshole?
Idiot, you think I'd just call it off because you were dead? There's no running away for you.
I'll find you. I won't let you get away with this, Najima.
You've got 12 hours. Do you really think your partly little organization will be able to make a dent in my plans? Oh, the sacrifices will be heavy. I can't wait to see you sobbing with regret. And I'll even have enough of soul dregs to pull off the Rite of Resurrection. How splendid.
Wait, Nejima, you're after...
Anyway, see you around. Bye-bye now.
Boss! Ario, did you catch all that?
Nejima, what is he planning?
Who knows? For now, we need to find him and get him into custody. Send word to HQ. But the fact about the 7 mysteries are wrapped up in this is going to make things tricky.
You mean with Nejima being a curse bearer?
Just our luck, really. It couldn't have been a worse guy. Sounds like his curse will be able to kill a lot of people at once. I'd like to avoid getting our investigators caught in the crossfire. We'll use them to find out where he is, but then we're going in alone. We should try to collect as many curse stones as we can before then. Let's hurry.
Aye aye, boss. Later, it was reported that a total of 3 suspicious deaths were discovered that night. Nejima's threats, along with the curses, were kept secret from the general public. However, the Honjo serial killing still made the international headlines following the death of police officer Hajime Yoshimi. At Tsutumi's request, a large-scale investigation was launched into Fumichika Nejima's whereabouts. Tatsumi and Ario themselves spent the rest of the night looking for the curse bearers in the area, but their search ended in vain. And with that, the curtain closed on that cursed night. 12 hours to sunset. Oh, okay. Alright, cool. We got some more stuff going on. Oh, and she's got more stuff.
Good, I was gonna be like, seriously?
Alright, so that's it for today's episode of Paranormasight. Things are starting to pick up. We got a serial killer involved now. I guess this takes place over more time than just one night. So that's good to hear and good to know. For some reason, I thought it was only under one night, so I was like,
Man, the pacing's really weird. I figured more would happen, but if there is gonna be more to happen, but later. So we will see next time. Have a great one, guys. Bye.